Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that one of our admin received, and the translation, it reads like this. Hello, how are you? Can you please post my own story as anonymous? I have come here on your platform because I so wish to share my own story with you, and my story, it goes on like this. I honestly thought that you can just go whether on Facebook or on TikTok, but I started following these home remedies, or what they call DIY remedies, where you do it your own self. No need to go to a sangoma anymore. All that you have to do is to get the things that are needed for that particular ritual, and then you are done, and you will just have to wait to see if the person that you would have done the ritual for will be able to come back to you. I had done countless rituals. I had done 2 rituals that I had seen on Facebook, and honestly, they worked. The first one, it was about the supervisor at our work. When I started working there, I was dating that guy. So as time went on, the way that he was mistreating me, it was because of the other casual workers that would be brought, because I do work for a company that sells clothes. It is a shop by the mall. So during very peak season, even on holidays, they hire women. So most of these women that do come, they just work casual. So you will date some of those women, and they would think that by dating that guy, the supervisor, then they would work there permanently. And whenever I would say, but I saw you with that girl, the way that you were looking at each other, like, is it even necessary? And then the guy will be like angry at me, saying that, why are you trying to be on my back at all the times? Why are you trying to be that kind of a crazy girlfriend that is keep on snooping around, and you're just watching me each and every move? So it was that kind of a situation, and I did not want to be in that hurtful situation anymore. I did not want to stop working because I have 2 babies that needs me, for me to take care of them. So he had told me that if I was too tired of what was going on, I was supposed to just stop coming to work. That is what they told me. So I then went on Facebook and I joined this other group that I saw. There was one Sangoma who had recommended that group in the private group where I was. It is like Witches of South Africa, and I joined that group, and then I saw that there was this other ritual that had been written by a Sangoma. If you want someone to be chased away at work, the person that would have done you bad. And I then spoke with other people in their inbox, asking them if they had done the same rituals, and they told me that they did the rituals, and the majority, they were saying that their charms had worked. So I then went to this Makula shop, and I ended up buying a small red garment, like a small fabric that I bought, and I bought some needles, and I had to look for a doll, but it was supposed to be a fluffy doll that looked like Barbie, but it was fluffy, the one that I bought. And then I waited until it was 9 p.m. When it was 9 p.m., I then started to speak with my ancestors and telling them about the way that the guy had been mistreating me, and he wanted me to fire myself so that I won't be able to complain, and how it was going to be very difficult for me to raise my kids if I had stopped going to work. So I then told them to make sure that he will start to have bad luck, so much that he will stop going to work and he will end up getting fired himself. This man, he was followed by bad luck indeed. His vehicle had an accident. When he was driving, he bumped into someone, and it was a big mess. That man made him to pay a lot of money because the car that he bumped into, it was a very expensive car. And after that, then that was when one of the girls that had worked at that place told everyone that this guy had slept with her because he had promised her to be working there permanently. And when it did not happen, then that was when she started talking about it. So this guy, he just had bad luck, and the company said that they did not want him to be the supervisor anymore. He was going to be just a regular worker. As someone that was used to being a supervisor, when he started to be a normal worker like all of us, he then ended up doing things to make sure that he get fired, and he was fired. He tried to go to the CCMA thinking that he will get a lot of money, but he literally got nothing. So I was excited about what had happened, and I did another ritual about another girl as well, who had been sleeping with this guy, even though she knew that this guy was my boyfriend. And that is when I started to follow all of these groups on Facebook, on WhatsApp, as well as TikTok. But growing up, I really never believed in magic because my mom, she was a Christian, and our home was a Christian home here in Johannesburg, where it was something that was forbidden to even mention the names of your dead relatives because they were like demons, demons, demons. And then there was another guy who is the father to my last born. So this guy, he came around when I was saying that now I am ready to settle down. He came and I was like, you know what happened the last time that we were together? You started acting up and then you just ran away and you said that you do not want this. So why now? And he was like, you are the mother of my child, because to him, our child was his firstborn. So I said, oh, well, maybe this guy is onto something. We then started dating. 3 years passed. He was telling me that I am his love, I am everything. And then the day when I heard the rumors that he had been cheating on me, I panicked. I don't want to lie to you. He treated me like I was no longer there in his life. That was when I came across some videos. Usually there are those videos where you are taught how to make someone return back to you. So I did a love spell ritual, how to make someone desperate with rituals. So it was really like harmless white people kind of charms. And I said, let me do it. I remember very well when I did this ritual, it was on a Friday. That was the night that I had set aside for the ritual. I knew that he was going to come to my place. So we had been told that when the guy or the woman comes to your place, and then after you would have made love to them, you do not bath throughout even the next day, and then you wait for the evening without bathing, no putting any lotion, no roll on, no perfume, nothing. You just go about your business doing that. So I waited for the day when I knew that I was not going to work, and I called my baby daddy. He came, we slept together, and then I waited for Friday evening, and then that was the night that I really wanted to do the rituals. So as the rituals had instructed, I had taken coffee seeds as well as garlic. And even though I hated garlic, but I said just in order for me to be able to perform these rituals, I have to do it. And I had to look for 5 sewing pins. They were supposed to be sharp and silver. And I had gone to the internet cafe where I had printed out his profile picture. That was the recent one, as I had been told to use a recent photograph. So I used that, and I had also printed out my own. And then I used one of the needle to sew those photos together with a red string. And then I took a glass jar that was supposed to have a lid, and I waited. When it was in the evening, I then started to whisper his name. So I was holding the photograph and I kept on whispering his name, and I was like, as I am putting all of these pins on our photos that have been stuck together. I want you to be with me. I want your heart. You will see that I am the only one that you cannot live without. I pressed the pins in with a lot of force, so much that I even hurt my finger and I was bleeding. And we had been told that even if blood was to come out, it was good. And I kept on doing all of these things. And then after that, that was when I took the photographs and I put them into the glass jar and I closed it up, and I took a candle and then I took that glass and I started to play around with it on top of the fire as the candle was burning, as I was speaking all the good things that were going to happen to me and my baby daddy. And when I was done, that was when I took everything outside and I left them there. So in my dreams, that was when at night I saw a cat. This was after I was so happy when I went to bed, because the guy, he called me and he was like, I have just discovered that I am so lucky. And I was like, what have you discovered and why are you saying that you are so lucky? And he was like, you know, you have been here all this time and I did not even discover that you are something that I have been searching for. Please forgive me for all the times that I have cheated on you. And I was like, oh, really? You mean it? And he was like, yes, I mean it, my love. From this day going onwards, I am going to cherish you, to give you my heart, to give you my everything, because you truly deserve it. You are someone that is very beautiful, and I don't even know why I would go around looking for someone else when you are this beautiful. So I was excited about the prospects of a better future. When I went to bed, I was even smiling. I was looking at some of the old pictures that me and him had taken with our baby, and I was happy that finally I wanted, growing up, I always wanted to be someone that will have a stable relationship, and then my kids, they can grow up looking at their father. We would be at the same house. That is what I always had dreams about. So this guy, after he had called me, I then went to bed, and in my dreams, I saw a black cat. This cat, it came and it entered into our yard, and it took the glass jar as well as the candle. It then ate the candle and it went away. So I just thought that it was just a normal dream when I woke up. Fast forward, for weeks, I did not have any dreams until one day I woke up. It was exactly 3 a.m. in the morning. When I woke up, that was when I saw that in my room there was a cat. Like a cat, even in my street. I don't think that there is anyone who has a cat. So that is what was surprising me. I was like, where does this cat come from and how did it get into my room? I woke up and I was nervous. I was so scared, like I had never been scared in my entire life. I looked for a broom. This cat was just like, meow, and then it disappeared. And the way that it made that sound, it was so scary for me. I was shaking, literally shaking, and it disappeared. I then quickly rushed back on TikTok where it all had started. I started looking why I had seen all of these cats in my room, and I saw this other person who was saying that cats, they are used by witches, especially the black cat. So I watched a different TikTok. It was like, unbind all the evil spirits in your house using salt, iron, and you have to speak to the spirit, apologizing to the spirit. So I had to go to a hardware. When I went to the hardware, I looked for what they called iron filings as it had been instructed on the video. But when I went to the hardware store, they told me that they did not have that, because these iron filings, how you get them is like when you are grinding, then you take those iron filings. So they were like, it is very hard for you to find it in the shop. But what you can do, how about you just buy these nails? So I bought those nails, and then I returned back home. I had the pink salt, and then I took the nails and I put them on the floor, and I started to ask the spirit that had assisted me when I was making that ritual to bind my baby daddy to me like forever. And this was what was written on that video: to follow it by salt and by still. I break this spell. I release all the bind on my baby daddy's will. I call upon magic born out of spite and hatred to banish the cat that is now haunting me into the night. I did not even know about 5-pointed stars. I drew one. Only now I am realizing that I participated in a ritual which even Satanists participate in those rituals, like drawing a star. So I first drew this star outside on the ground, and I stood in the middle of the star, and I apologized to the spirit that was sending the cat to me. After the apology was done, that was when I returned back indoors in my room as I had been instructed on the video, and I took the pink salt and I made a 5-pointed star, and I then took a candle as it was burning, and then I stood in the middle of the 5-pointed star. That night, I did not even sleep. I started to have a terrible headache, and it was like I wanted to vomit. I saw myself, I was in a land that was very scary. The people that were there, all of them, they looked like they were scary creatures that just wanted to destroy me. And I ran throughout the night in my dreams, even though they could not catch me. And the way that I was running, it was like I was running in slow motion. And these people, they were chasing me. They were very fast. But whenever they would get close to where I was, then they will disappear and the nightmare will begin again. When I woke up, in between my thighs, I saw that I had scars. Even blood was coming out. So here is my confession. I turned to witchcraft because I just wanted my baby daddy to be back with me, and I was desperate. I bound him, and I did not know that when you bind someone else using the spells that you get on social media, you will invite demons that you can't even control. So this cat, I regularly see it, especially when I am coming back from work. If it happens that I return back late, what will happen is that I will start to see this snake from the moment that I get off from the taxi. The snake will be there following me, and then it disappears. I once asked one of my friends if she could see the snake, because on that day we returned back from work together. She is also working by the mall, and she was like, no, I don't even see anything, but it is only I who sees the snake. Sometimes I wake up and I can see that on my hand there will be 3 scratches that will be very deep, but when I wake up again, it will only be painful, as if the wound has disappeared. It has disappeared into my skin. I am looking for a very powerful man of God who is based here in Johannesburg. I am willing to travel around Johannesburg. If there is such a person, they can give you their phone numbers. I do not want sangomas as for now. I just want people that can pray for me, because I do not have money. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our sister right there. Have you ever tried these TikTok spells, and did it work or it did not work? You can come to my inbox with your own side of the story.